Welcome back to Financial Fundamentals, where we break down money concepts so they actually make sense. Today, we are talking about something that might be happening to you right now, and you might not even realize it is a ticking clock. Your landlord has been charging you less than your lease says you owe, for nearly a year. And the question is, do you say something, or do you just enjoy the lower bill and hope they never notice? By the end of this, you're going to understand what your actual legal exposure looks like, what the smart financial move is, and why the silence that feels safe right now might be the riskiest choice you can make. Stick with me. This one is worth your full attention. Okay, so let us start with why this matters in the first place. Rent is almost always the single biggest expense in your budget. Like, if your money were a pizza, rent is probably 5 or 6 of the 8 slices. So when something goes wrong with rent, even something that feels like it is going in your favor, it can shake your entire financial picture. And here's the thing. Most people in this situation do what feels natural. They think, hey, they billed me this amount, I paid it, we are square. But that is actually not how it works legally. And that is what we need to unpack. Let us start with the most important concept in this whole conversation. Your lease, not your invoice, not the auto pay amount, not the text your landlord sent you last spring. Your lease. A lease is just a written contract between you and your landlord. Think of it like the rule book for your apartment. It says how long you are staying, what you are paying, and what happens if something changes. And here's the key thing. In that rule book, the rent amount that is written down is what you legally owe, even if your landlord forgets to charge it, even if their system glitches, even if they never send you a single reminder. So, if your lease says your rent went up to $1,800 last March, but the autopay kept pulling $1,600 out of your account every month, you legally owe that extra $200 per month. The invoice was wrong. The contract was not. Another way to think about it is this. Imagine you go to a restaurant, the waiter brings your check, and he accidentally forgets to put on the appetizer you ordered. You know you had it. The restaurant knows you had it. Just because the check did not include it does not mean you did not owe it. The same logic applies here. Now, a lot of people hear that, and their first reaction is, okay, but it has been almost a year. Surely there is some kind of time limit on how far back they can go, and that brings us to our next idea, something called the statute of limitations on written contracts. Statute of limitations. Fancy legal phrase, simple idea. It is basically the window of time a person or company has to come after you for money you owe them. Think of it like an expiration date on their ability to collect. Here's the important part. For written contracts, which a lease is, that window in most U.S. states is somewhere between 3 and 6 years, not 1 year. 3 to 6 years, that means a landlord discovering this mistake a year from now, or even 3 years from now, could potentially come back and demand the full amount you underpaid. This varies by state, so the exact rules in your city or state might be different, but the general principle holds almost everywhere. So that free money feeling from the lower rent, it might not be free at all. It might be a bill that is slowly building in the background, and you have no idea when it is going to show up. All right, let us pause for a quick check. So far, we have covered 2 big ideas. First, your lease defines what you owe, not your invoice. Second, your landlord can legally come back for underpaid rent for several years in most places. Does that make sense? Good. Let us keep going. Now I want to talk about what the smart move actually looks like from a money management standpoint. And here's where your cool older brother energy kicks in, because this is genuinely useful stuff. If you think there is any chance your rent is wrong and a back bill is coming, you should be setting aside the difference every single month. That is it. That is the move. Let me walk you through a real example so this clicks. These are illustrative numbers, not predictions. Let us say your lease renewed last March at $1,750 a month, but the landlord's autopay system kept pulling your old rate of $1,600. The gap is $150 a month. You do not spend that $150. You move it into a separate savings account, even a basic one, on the same day your rent gets charged, every single month. Now fast forward 11 months. You have set aside $1,650. That is exactly what you underpaid. So if your landlord comes to you at renewal and says, hey, we just realized our system was pulling the wrong amount, you owe us $1,650, you are not panicking, you are not scrambling. You have the money sitting right there. And here's the bonus. If your landlord never catches the mistake, or if they decide to waive it because it was their system error, you just built up a mini emergency fund without even trying hard. Either way, you are protected. This strategy is called ring fencing money. It just means mentally and physically separating a specific pile of cash for a specific purpose so you do not accidentally spend it. Like putting cash in an envelope and writing "do not touch" on it. Simple, but powerful. Now let us talk about the question everyone is actually scared to ask. Should I just bring it up to my landlord? And here's my honest take. Speaking up early almost always costs you less than staying silent. Here is why. If you bring it to their attention now, the back bill you owe is whatever it is today. Let us say $1,650. That is manageable. You can often negotiate a payment plan, ask for a partial waiver since it was their billing error, or just pay it off in a couple of months. But if you stay silent and they catch it 6 months from now, or at renewal, or worse, when you are trying to move out, you are now dealing with a much bigger number. A landlord who might feel like you were hiding something, and a lot less goodwill in the room. Goodwill just means the positive relationship and trust you have built up. It matters a lot at renewal time when you are trying to keep your rent from jumping or get your security deposit back smoothly. Now here is something that might surprise you. Staying quiet is not automatically fraud or anything illegal. You paid what you were invoiced. But knowingly ignoring a billing mistake can make you look bad in any future dispute, affect the reference your landlord gives you when you apply somewhere new, and complicate getting your deposit back. It is one of those situations where the safe choice is actually the risky one. Let me also address a couple of things people get wrong about this all the time. First misconception. If they build it wrong, that is their problem. I hear this a lot, and I get why it feels that way. But in almost every state, the lease is what controls, not the invoice. So their billing mistake does not erase what the contract says you owe. Second misconception. After a year, they cannot come back for it. We already covered this, but I want to say it again because it is so important. Statute of limitations on a written lease is usually 3 to 6 years depending on where you live. 1 year is not the cutoff. Not even close. Third misconception. If I bring this up, my rent will automatically go up. Here is the thing. If your lease already has a higher rent amount written in, that increase already happened. It is already in the contract you signed. Speaking up does not trigger a new increase. It just brings your payments in line with the agreement you already made. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to ask you something. What is the one thing from today that surprised you most? Maybe it was the statute of limitations number. Maybe it was the idea that the invoice is not the final word. Maybe it was realizing you could have been building a little savings cushion this whole time without knowing it. Think about that for a second, because the thing that surprised you is probably the thing worth sharing with someone you know. Maybe a roommate, a sibling, a friend who just moved into their first apartment. This stuff is not taught in school, and that is exactly why Financial Fundamentals exists. To make sure you have this information before you need it, not after something goes wrong. If this video helped you, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. And that is the whole mission here. And if you know someone who is renting right now, share this with them. Seriously, this kind of thing can sneak up on people and cost them real money. And hey, if there is a money concept you have always been confused about, something about credit, taxes, your first job, anything, drop it in the comments. We go through every comment, and your question might become the next video. Let us bring it home with the single most important takeaway from today. Your lease is the rule book, not your invoice, not your auto pay amount, your lease. If your rent is being underbilled, you are likely still on the hook for the difference. Set the gap aside every month so you are never caught off guard, and consider having an honest conversation with your landlord sooner rather than later. That one conversation can save you thousands of dollars and a whole lot of stress. You are already ahead of most people just by watching this. Keep going. Keep learning. You have got this. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Markets and investments carry risk, including the possible loss of principal. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial professional before making investment, tax, or money decisions.